that Tamaulipas is just amazing. You have such a great view of the Gulf of Mexico, and of course, it's just one border away of you. For most of you that are public, that's coming from the other side of the border, the USA, you're gonna find it quite cheap for you, so enjoy. So we're gonna go back to game number 1. This is gonna be Cloudy against Bonilla. It's the Warlock fighter against the Smash Fox boxer.
Naturally, and yes, arriba la S, la B, y la X, as we're seeing right now, because that's something that a lot of people don't take into consideration, that these players are being represented by very, very strong organizations from here within Mexico, and they are the pride and joy. These players are the pride and joy exactly of them. As we're seeing right now, Bonilla once again going out the Roy instead of going with the Aegis blades. Ooh, I really don't know about that, man. I'm sorry, going against the Aegis blades, this matchup is very volatile, very, very explosive, and I don't really mean it as a pun because of all the flames, but simply because of the fact that one burst is all you need, and I ain't talking fighting games.
Yeah, of course. You made a lot of references there. So yes, of course, this is gonna be such an explosive matchup. Not only because of who gets the first blood, but of course who gets the first advantage. These two type of characters, the way that they play, it's just they don't let you breathe. They don't have you any room to breathe. If you want to reposition yourself, you're gonna suffer, because of course what we have in Ultimate as a reposition tool, such as the air dodge, such as the roll, such as the neutral dodge, they're quite telegrafiadas. So I forgot exactly what word I was looking for. Telegraph, yeah, you can already tell, you can react very much easily against them. So as you can already tell, Bonilla is struggling a little bit to take the first stock from Cloudy. Cloudy is just using that side B perfectly to get off that ledge pressure that Bonilla is currently giving against him. Of course, he was just forced to take on that grab, just a little bit of extra credit for the stock to be taken, and he's just not gonna commit to any kind of edge guard against Cloudy, and just gave up full stage control to Cloudy. Just back and forth on this stage control, and already at the verge of losing that second stock. Of course, you cannot land up that stage control. It's actually quite precious in this matchup.
Especially when you're against the blazing redhead in the form of Pyra. And I know you guys were like, well, we're always a blazing redhead too. Yes, but who has the advantage? I mean, come on. It's common sense, like we're seeing it right now. Bonilla is actually struggling quite a lot to even be able to get back onto the stage. We're seeing that the tech chase is once again the option select that he's doing is ever so oppressed by Cloudy. Unfortunately, losing the stock right there against Bonilla. But what we're seeing right now could be a breath of air of hope, the breath of life that Bonilla needs in order to get himself back. But Jesus Christ, he almost died off of that with a small combo Mythra with the up airs, and now changing into Pyra in order to seal the deal. This is going to be very, very difficult to come back from. Not impossible. I'm not saying that this is impossible, but
no,
we saw Cloudy, we saw how dominant he was. This is going to be hard.
Just a little bit hard, a little bit extra. It's gonna be Bonilla against the world, and of course Bonilla already at the verge of losing this game. It's just struggling. I feel like at these kind of positions that you're currently taking on, if you're not able to take on this game, at least you gotta take out all the intel, all the info, anything that you can download for further games for you to be able to use against your opponent on the next matches.
All that information, like you mentioned, is just so valuable. And this is why players tend to not reveal it off of the first game like we're seeing it right now. 180%, ooh, you really don't see that those type of games come from the Aegis blade, especially when you've been in so much time with Pyra right there, changing to Mythra immediately and then changing back to Pyra with an attempt to, get back to the stage. And that downer isn't going to kill just yet. And Cloudy is now you're seeing Cloudy in a situation where you haven't seen him before. He could throw this if he's not careful. We're seeing once again the comment about Bonilla. Oh, Bonilla struggling right there. We saw that could have been a very, very difficult problem, but he was able to close this out before it got any bigger than it had to be. And now we're going immediately into a second game in which Bonilla, he understood he had the momentum in the end right there. Unfortunately, getting stuffed out by one of the aerials, but I mean, it's there. Like the spark is there.
Yeah, of course, he had the right idea. He just tried to commit to something that could possibly give him the gain, give him the stock. Sadly, that was not the case. That was not going to happen. Bonilla is just forced to go on the second game. Already losing on this set against Cloudy. And once again, I gotta remind every one of you, we are not exactly. I mean, if he loses this set, it's not like he's just gonna go to loser. Of course, he's still got a chance to go on the winner's bracket, on the winner's side of the event. But he still gets a little closer and closer to getting into the loser side, and that's not something favorable at all on these kind of events.
Of course. And that's why he knows that he's in a situation, and he busted out the Pokemon Trainer. I like the pick. I like the pick. I'm a big fan of Pokemon Trainer. I'm a big fan of Bonilla's Pokemon Trainer, and I want to see exactly how he can move around using exactly the tools coming from 3 of these characters, from Ivysaur, Squirtle, and from Charizard, to see exactly what he can do with, first with and against the Aegis Blades that we're seeing right now. And but what I'm seeing is that he's struggling sometimes to actually punish the things that Cloudy is using, eating a lot of forward smashes right there, and but was able to get back with the Vine Whip here. I see that he has, I don't know if it's terror, I don't want to sound repetitive by saying this, but I don't know if it's fear, but I see that something is creeping up in his heart.
One thing for sure is that Bonilla currently is just trying to get Pokemon Trainer against Cloudy, but there's something that many people may not know. Cloudy was the one who invented Pokemon Trainer in Mexico. The original Pokemon Trainer, the OG Pokemon Trainer player in Mexico is Cloudy. So there's just like a few notch of things that you can show Cloudy that he's not gonna know. It's just why the challenge or the test or the task that you want to go against the OG player. And of course, as you can already tell, it's not working well so far. Bonilla is most likely gonna be able to, or most likely gonna be forced to change to another character if he wants to have a chance against Cloudy, who's of course such a I forgot exactly the word I was looking for. A momentum-based player.
Naturally. It's very, very hard to find those type of players, and of course one can start feeling himself, but once the momentum starts to shift within your favor, it's over a lot of time. We're seeing that right now. Ooh, I don't know if Squirtle was the best change of pace right here, because he may be small, he may be spicy, but I don't know if that can help out a lot. But even Cloudy's able to make it back. One would say that Pyra and Mythra's recovery isn't the best thing in the world, but stopping out, oh my god, he barely was able to make it back. What an interaction right there. Cloudy was fishing for that stock. He wanted it. He was like, nope, I'm ending it right now. This is gonna be it. And once again, the Charizard saving the life right there with the golden wings. Now with the back here, I'm sorry, with the
oh my god, no. No manches, güey.
No. Dígale que no a Cloudy, por favor. What the heck was that? The double
God, not like this.
One, and then you see it again, two.
The second one.
You shake your hand. What?
Okay, the first one was a thing. Okay, the first one was a thing, but the second one, that was not a beta by the loss of God. No, that did not abide to the loss of God. That was just overkill. That was unnecessary. That was rude. That was amazing, Cloudy. I love you for that. Game number 3, Cloudy against Bonilla. Currently, Cloudy being held at the verge of winning this game, at the verge of winning this whole set. He already made it on style. He already had those points. He already getting all the cheer from all the people that's currently watching this set going on and on and on. And of course, there's nothing more that could top these current days of victory than the victory itself against Bonilla.
And he will be positioning himself to be a very, very confident lead to take the second place within this pool. And that's exactly what he wants. He knows that if he wins 2, he could confidently be taking the second place, if not the first. Then go with the prominence revolt, almost taking care of me on that.
Oh my God.
Once again with the aerial, hitting him hard and almost in the funny haha percent, but not going to be quite enough, as we're seeing Bonilla is struggling to keep up with the speed that Mythra has. And it's ever so impressive and devastating to see these players constantly duking it out, and one almost lacking a little bit of range, a little bit of strength, something really. And that comes up to a point where it becomes accumulative and it starts building up in the snowball effect, like we're seeing it right now. Bonilla is, I feel within his playstyle, I'm feeling it to be a little bit demoralized. He knows that he can do something about it, but he's just not capitalizing off of the edges that he can have within this matchup as Roy.
at least currently, at least what's going on in front of our very own eyes is at least not up to the task at this very moment. So currently Bonilla, who's already losing quite a lot of percentage, finally gets in, breaks in, takes out that stock. That's not enough. The pressure that he's just exerting against Cloudy Shield is just not enough. And one thing for sure is that I did not know that you could actually shield grab. Oh my god, that's gonna be a stock. Even though Cloudy was not able to close that out with that neutral V, it was good enough to drag Bonilla down. And of course, Roy has such an exploitable recovery that was just enough. We're gonna be at the verge of a second game where we just get a 2-stock, and of course there's a lot of things that he just gotta take in count. Bonilla's most likely gonna be losing this set if he's not able to make it back against Cloudy. It's such a great task that he has to take on, and I don't know if he's got any fuel left, man.
He has to get himself together, that's for sure. Like, that's something that has to happen right now if he wants to get back within the set. Because this game isn't lost, not at all.
Yeah, of course.
Naturally. But the thing is, you have to recompose yourself. You're constantly losing those tech, you're constantly losing those interactions in neutral, and you're not gonna lie, you're losing the better player tech. And I know that's rude of me to say, but we're seeing it right now. Bonilla is taking all those all states. That's impressive, not gonna lie. But you see, the thing is, in those type of situations, Cloudy saved them and gave them a stock. Why would you go for upper? Why would you go for upper there?
He just demoralized my boy. He just demoralized my boy. He's just demoralizing my boy. Either he's just one of the best friends that you could ever take on, or that's just demoralizing in such a manner. In any case, it's already 187%. Of course, Cloudy, he just wants to set it on in style. As you can already tell, he did not want to go for Pyra, even though he knew that anything that Pyra could use against this boy was just gonna be over. He went for Mythra for style points, and I actually don't blame him. You gotta think as a matter of fact, that whenever you're playing on stage, it's not only a statement for the current opponent, but for who's gonna come after. So it's a thing about not only pride, it's a thing about mentality, of course, and whoever comes against Cloudy after Bonilla does, then they gotta take in